right, good evening. It is 6 o'clock, October the 15th, 2018. Time to call our city council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Abbott?
Here.
Mr. Austin?
Here.
Mr. Blankenship?
Here.
Mr. Eggers?
Present.
Mr. Hukin?
Here.
Mr. Richards? Mr. Wertz? Sir, you have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Hukin, would you do the prayer and pledge, please?
Let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we give thanks for this evening and thanks for being able to get together to conduct the business of our city. We ask that you watch over those who protect us, our first responders, and those that serve our military here in the state as well as abroad. We also ask, Lord, that you watch over those who are traveling this week, as a lot of those are on break. Have them enjoy their week, but also watch over them as they return home. All this we ask in your Son's name. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. We do have a special presentation tonight. Ms. Whitney Severson, who is the Goodwill Ambassador for Coogee City, our sister city, just recently went on a trip to Coogee and has come to tell us a little bit about it and a plan that a project that she's going to be working on. I thought was a great idea, and we'll see if we can help with that. So, Whitney?
Konbanwa, minasan. That was a greeting I gave in Japan, and now I give to you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, as well as for your time. My name is Whitney Severson, and I'm the newly appointed Goodwill Ambassador for Franklin and for Coogee. You might ask, what is a Goodwill Ambassador? Because to be honest, I didn't know at first either. My official position is to serve as a bridge between the two cities and promote the friendship we have. While the bond between Franklin and Coogee is quite strong already, it is my job to strengthen it more. Back in September, I had the amazing opportunity to represent Franklin and spend a month in Coogee. And if you see the monitor behind you, that's a picture of Coogee Uape. I was appointed upon my arrival as ambassador and then had the most amazing time I could have hoped for. I met many people who I cried and laughed with, those who I learned alongside, and those who taught me many things. As you can see, I visited different schools, and I also attended the Akimatsuri, which is a big fall festival. And there's one school with the high school kids, and they really liked me. Most importantly, I found out from where we came, where it started, and who started it. It started with the name Thomasine Allen, who first formed the bridge between our two cities. In Coogee, many people respect and admire Thomasine Allen. I had the blessing of meeting a few people who were personally taught by her. I want to continue the legacy that Allen has started and pass on the joy of learning new cultures to others. And so I have a proposal. As you may know, Coogee has a delegation set up where a select number of students visit Franklin every year. Unfortunately, we do not have something similar set up in Franklin. And because of this, I want to start a scholarship which would send Franklin students to Coogee. The scholarship, which I have temporarily named to the Allen Fund, would send 4 students every year to Coogee. I would also go to Coogee with the students to act as a guide and interpreter. As for the funding, I suggest we partner with the Japanese companies in Franklin. That way the burden of the price does not fall on the taxpayers, and we can strengthen our partnership with the existing companies in Franklin. It would also be an incentive for any future Japanese companies looking to settle in Franklin. In 2020, a little over a year, we will have the 60th anniversary of Franklin and Coogee becoming a sister city. I suggest that is when we send the first delegation. It would give us time to raise the funds, as well as promote the scholarship so we can receive applicants. I have papers within my folder that demonstrates the possible schedule that we could have and also the budget for each ticket based on my experience. I'll have that handed out, and any questions you have, I'm willing to answer.
Okay, Whitney, I think, so we can just, what we discussed was you would put a presentation together,
Yes.
and Krista would help us get all the contacts for the Japanese companies, maybe not even just in Franklin, but Johnson County.
Yes.
And we would go and you would do the presentation and see if we could get buy-in
Yes.
from the businesses. And just, I know the city council last year, we had talked about this when Fuji was here. I know the council's excited about trying to send the help to you down the road, so. Go ahead and tell some of your experience that you had there, because I was taken back whenever you come in and start telling me about all the cool stuff. Do you have the slides on there?
I have, yeah, just the different pictures, and I can go into detail about the pictures. So this, let me see, right there, the picture of the sea was, Kuji is actually right by the mountains and also the sea. So you could be in the mountains and overlooking the sea. It's really gorgeous. And that second picture is actually outside my first host family house, Osaki-san. That is a rice field, and it was right in front of the house, and it was gorgeous every morning. So Kuji is very, it's a hard word to say, but rural. It's very rural, yes. And they have like a lot of land. It's very spread out, so very gorgeous to see in the mornings. And then that was my appointment, and it was very scary because it was very formal. I didn't know what to expect, and they actually had like a Coke sitting for me in like a super formal glass, and I was like, thank you. I don't know what to do. But I was really excited, and there was a newspaper there. I was actually, I have a picture of the second one here, but there it goes. This was a newspaper I was in. I was actually interviewed a couple days before I left, and that's actually the state paper. But this picture was featured in the city paper. And then on the left side, I had attended a judo class with the students. And it was funny because we didn't do any judo. They had me hold up cards and say what it meant to me in English. So he treated it like an English class. And on the right side, I attended the Akimatsuri, which is the fall festival. It's a huge event and everybody gathers. And it was really funny because as I walked through the crowd, see, I speak Japanese and I knew where people were pointing me out because I heard somebody go, look, it's a foreigner. So, you know, people definitely gawk at you because Kuji does not have many foreigners. It's not like Tokyo. Tokyo, I walked by and nobody took a second glance, but at Kuji, they just stare at you. So that was really funny. And then on the left side is the Akimatsuri as well, and they have an event where you pull the floats and you sing this song the whole time. And I was on TV that night because it's a really big event in Kuji, and people come around from the Iwate area to see it. And then on the right side is the high school students. I was there the one day before I left, the 26th, and I left on the 27th. So they were all really nice to me, and they gave me lots of snacks. So I was really grateful for that. But yeah, it's a great opportunity, and I unfortunately do not have the pictures here, but I do have Thomasine Allen, whose house I was able to personally visit. And her kindergarten is actually still running to this day. I actually saw some of the children who attend there, and my host brothers attended the kindergarten as children. So the mission that she started is still very much thriving. And I hope to continue that by letting some other kids experience some of the things I did.
Whitney, have you been in touch with anybody from the Franklin Rotary Club?
Actually, Greg Moore.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah. They actually helped me a lot with teaching Japanese. I'm not exactly bilingual, but I know enough to get by in conversations, and they were a big part of that.
I'm sure if you spoke with Greg that he would be willing to set up a meeting with the representatives of the club to have you come in and discuss what your proposals are, and maybe even through Rotary find some assistance on that as well.
Yes.
So I would encourage you to do that. Was Kuji, was it impacted by the 2011 tsunami?
Yes. There's actually, I have a couple of presentations back at home that were presented by me. There was also a typhoon, either the typhoon or a storm, Lion Rock. They used to actually, everybody told me everywhere I went, they used to have a McDonald's and they used to have a movie theater, and then the typhoon took it. So they haven't rebuilt it, but it's very interesting because there were certain areas that were impacted, I believe. And in Kuji, they have an aquarium, and there's a turtle there named Kamikichi, and he's famous because he survived the typhoon. So, yeah, he's a big attraction there.
That would make a good Rotary program.
Yes.
The students, will it be a whole school year they work there, or will it be just for
It would be for a short period of
a
time.
short period?
I think the way the Kuji delegation comes here, they come here for a very small sort of time, but yeah. yeah, so I thought for about a short time as well, but just enough for them to be able to experience the culture, but not be there so long that the funds are outrageous.
And we will have to get with Dr. Clendenning, school superintendent,
That's
work through those details also.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, I know that Dr. Clendenning's, he would like, he's wanting to do this, so. I thought it was, tell them how you get to be the ambassador.
Oh goodness, it was so insane. So originally I thought I was going to be the friendship ambassador, which was something that we had no idea what that meant. And then they emailed me just a couple of days before I left, and it was so funny because it was almost midnight. And I text my mom like, "Are you up? I have this news." And they're like, "Hey, we want to make you the Goodwill ambassador." And they were really rolling the dice on this one because when I got to the Coogee, after my stay and as I was returning home, my good friend Yuko Gamano, she is with International Affairs, she told me we were so worried we were going to get a bad person for this one. She's like, we were so worried we were going to get a basic girl that's like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, you really didn't know, did you? The terms have been coming up, and when I first arrived, they gave this to me, if I can open this, they gave this to me and had it signed, and they're like, well, you can go over the terms with your mayor and everything. But they wanted to be very official because the reason that they wanted to make me the Goodwill ambassador was because of the nearing 2020, the anniversary, 60 years. So, but I told them, I don't want it to be something with my name. I hope I can do something, so.
And we're looking to set up a fund at the Community Foundation.
Yes.
I'm kind of leading you into some of the stuff we talked about.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but we talked about forming a community foundation,
Yes.
setting up a fund, so if somebody wants to donate to it, and we will let the Japanese companies know that, that's where it's gonna go to. And then they would get the funds to go out of that.
Yes. I will handle the brunt of talking to everybody. I'm a very people person, thank you to my mother. I'll go to the schools, I'll go to the companies. Since I can speak both Japanese and English, I'll be able to give the presentations to the companies. Because not all businessmen, actually, Greg Moore, who's a part of the Rotary Club, they did everything for me. He teaches the businessmen English, so if I need be, I can speak in Japanese to them.
Sure.
So,
And you tried to teach me, I can't even remember what.
arigato gozaimasu.
Yeah, and I gave up.
I still have the footage on my phone.
Yeah, that was funny, wasn't
Arigato.
it? So did you show that to the mayor?
I felt so bad. I was going home and I totally forgot. Every time I saw the mayor, there was always a man and he shuffled you around, like, go here, go here. I wasn't used to that because, Franklin's kind of a home vibe, and my grandmother being in the army for so long, I knew everybody. But in Coogee, it's like, don't touch him, don't speak, don't make eye contact. He's a real sweetheart though, he's really nice, but I was like, do I show you this on my phone or will it be smacked on my hand? Yes, but I'm really excited for it, and it's definitely a life-changing experience. I don't go a day without thinking about Coogee. And I still talk to one of my host families every day, so it's amazing.
Well, I can't think of anybody better to be our ambassador than you, and I appreciate it. And
Yes.
I'll say thank you for coming, and you and I and Crystal will be speaking here soon about
Yes.
trying to move forward on what you want to try to accomplish.
Yes, thank you so much.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do I give this back to you? Yes.
Okay. Now, it's gonna be hard to top, but is there any other presentations about announcements and public comments? Okay, hearing none, we'll go to the consent agenda.
Move to read consent agenda.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Go to old business.
Move to read old business by title only.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ayers. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, first item on the consent agenda, request approval of common council budgetary ordinance number 18-13, additional appropriation for fire merit services budget in the amount of $9,000. Clerk Treasurer Jane Rhodes. Ma'am.
Yes, sir, thank you, Mayor. We talked about this last, meeting with, if I think I have this correct, Chief Montpelier. We did two 2 hiring procedures this year, captains and lieutenants, which made us double the cost. And so we need to appropriate $9,000 to cover the bills that are in now and carry us through to the end of the year. This will be coming out of the general.
So is there any,
And can be approved tonight.
I'll move for approval.
Second. Do we have to have a public hearing prior to that?
yes, we do. So we will open this up for public hearing at this point. Thank you, Drew. So it's open for public hearing. If somebody has any questions or somebody wants to make a comment, it's open for public hearing at this time.
Chief, I'm correct, this isn't gonna be an every year thing, it's just gonna, it's just when it is necessary, correct? So it's not something we need to appropriate into the budget as a whole.
I truly believe that Mr. Attenborough is gonna have to sit down and look at his true budget and then probably approach
Okay,
next year
Next year.
with an adjustment to reflect that.
okay.
Anybody else? Okay, the public hearing is closed, but is there anybody else on the council that has anything to say? Hearing none, I think we're ready for a motion.
I'll make the motion for approval.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ayers. All those in favor?
We did-
Aye.
we talked about this last month, didn't we?
Yes.
Okay.
Any opposed? Hearing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 2, request approval of common council ordinance number 2018-11, annexation to be known as the Kelsey annexation. Tonight will be a public hearing on that, and it's approval for the common council resolution number 2018-13, fiscal plan, senior planner Joanna Lyons.
Good evening. Here with me this evening is Joe Kelsey, also representing the petitioner. The request is to annex approximately 425 acres, which is located east of US 31, south of Paul Hand Boulevard, which is also County Road 400 North, and west of Graham Road. This was introduced at the last meeting, was also went before the Plan Commission, which they have forwarded a favorable recommendation by a vote of 11-4-0 opposed. This has been advertised both for Plan Commission and for City Council public hearing this evening. And it's open for any questions that you may have.
So at this point, we need to do the public hearing, is that correct? So, okay, we are now open for public hearing. If there's any questions about the annexation to be known as Kelsey annexation? Any questions, comments? Yes,
For
sir.
the agriculture sections, is that considered an expansion to the farm itself, or is that just, what exactly is that gonna entail? Is that, what are you categorizing that as an expansion or something entirely different?
I don't understand.
Is that the question, is it gonna stay farmland or is it gonna?
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
totally development.
For this point, it is going to continue as farmland. There is a companion ordinance that is going to be heard next, that is the rezoning, which would be anticipation for future development. But correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Kelsey, that at this moment in time, the plan is to continue using it as agriculture. It's just getting it ready to be more easily developed when that time comes.
Thank you.
And when that time comes, as soon as it gets developed, then it would be, it would go to a different tax rate. But that's, I think that's the point he was asking.
Yes.
Yeah. Any other, good comment, good question? Any others? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Now it's for public hearing only, so we're not ready to move on that one tonight. The rest of that, to that is the fiscal plan we can act on tonight,
Yes.
right?
There's a resolution before you, which is 2018-13, which is the fiscal plan, which is included in that resolution. If you have any questions, I can answer them. But otherwise, that is ready for your official action.
So we need a public hearing on that part also? Okay, we do not. Okay.
And also to request that Ken Austin be named the signatory for the council as a whole on that resolution.
I would move to approve common council ordinance number 2018-12 rezoning to be known as Kelsey rezoning, as well as adding Mr. Austin as the sole signer.
Resolution 2018-13 fiscal plan.
I'm sorry, 13, yes, fiscal plan.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Akers and a second by Mr. Appen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, thank you. Now we move on to number 3, request approval of common council ordinance number 2018-12, rezoning to be known as the Kelsey rezoning public hearing. This word really is kind of confusing because I thought we've already done that, but we'll go. So we'll have a
I misspoke last, so.
This is the companion piece to the annexation. Just for reference, when a property is annexed into the city of Franklin, since we already have a buffer zone, if that property is included in our buffer zone, it already has a designated zoning district. If we would annex property that is outside of our buffer zone, when it came into the city, we would be required to give it a zoning designation. The particular properties before you this evening for annexation are included entirely within the buffer zone. So this property, which is the same 425 acres, is currently zoned agriculture with the gateway overlay that lies along US 31, about 600 feet wide from the center line of that. So the request for the rezoning is to coincide with the gateway overlay, is to rezone that portion from agriculture to mixed-use community center, and then all the remaining acreage from that 600 feet east to the railroad, skip the railroad, from the east line of the railroad all the way to Graham, to then be rezoned industrial general. Those zoning designations are consistent with what the comprehensive plan outlines for future land use. This also went before Plan Commission with a 11-0 vote for favorable recommendation. This evening, what I would like to request is that it be open for a public hearing and then be tabled for official action to coincide with the adoption of the annexation. So be tabled until the November 5th for official action.
Okay, so at this time, we will open it up for a public hearing. If there's any questions, like we had a few minutes ago, that would probably be helpful. Any questions?
I think my questions are answered.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, we will close the public hearing. And I think what you're asking for now, Joanna, is a motion to table.
Table it until the November 5th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Mr. Austin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, hearing none, we'll go to the next one, but I just want to thank you, Mr. Kelsey, for coming, and we know that that's going to be an important part of our city at some time, and I appreciate you wanting to work with the city to make this happen. Thank you. Okay, the next one, request approval of common council ordinance number 2018-13, annexation to be known as Linville annexation, 8.711 acres. And this is also going to be a public hearing. And then we will also be approving the common council resolution number 2018-14 fiscal plan. Ms. Myers.
Good evening. Charlotte Sullivan is in attendance this evening representing the petitioners for this request. The property is located immediately north of 2160 North Graham Road, which is where the current animal shelter is located. It is 8.711 acres. It is currently zoned industrial light. The request is to maintain that zoning. This was heard by the Plan Commission at its September 18th meeting and was had a favorable vote to forward it to you with a favorable recommendation for 10-0. Also included in here is the fiscal plan, which we will hear next.
Okay, so this one is open for public hearing, and it's my understanding there is a end user for this one once it gets rezoned. That's the understanding that we have at this time.
If you go back to the The property outlined in red is the 8.711 acres. The line that goes horizontally through that is the proposed split for 2 lots. This is actually being heard at the county level, going through the primary planning process, since it is included in the unincorporated area at this point. With it being in the Needham Fire Protection District, any adoption of the annexation would not take effect until January 1st of 2020, which is why they're going ahead and pursuing dividing the property, and we anticipate that one of the lots will be developed through the county's process with oversight of the city during the time that it's waiting to become annexed into the city. But no official approvals will be given until that annexation would be approved.
So the county's not gonna act on it until we,
They will act on the primary plat, but the city has to sign off on the site development plan. And since it would be a site development plan, that sewer would be extended, we would not do that until we knew that the annexation was through the entire process, and we were just waiting for the time period to lapse and it become effective January 1st of 2020. Because any risk to us at that time was no longer there.
there's no chance of this spilling over into 2019.
As long as we keep on schedule.
No. Are we grandfathered on that, Ron? Because I know we can't annex anything a year before the census.
I didn't hear the question.
So right now, the way that it's proposed is the official action anticipated to be November 5th. We would then advertise it in the Daily Journal within, immediately after, generally about 2 days after. So we then have to wait 30 days before we can record it. So we can actually get this recorded sometime after December 7th, 10th. And as long as it's recorded prior to that,
We're good.
we're good.
Okay, that was my concern.
Okay.
Okay.
So if anything got delayed from the November 5th, would be,
See, when we started this in 2018, with grandfather next to it, and it's still in 2019.
Okay, so at this point, we'll open this up for a public hearing. I already did that, didn't I? Did we close the public hearing? Okay, so is there anybody else want to question or answer? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing. Then I think next would be the fiscal plan.
the fiscal plan is attached to the resolution 2018-14, requesting that be approved and that Ken Austin be designated as the signatory for the common council.
I move to approve Common Council Resolution number 2018-14, the fiscal plan, and allow Ken Austin to sign on behalf of the council.
Second.
Second by Mr. Abbott. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that takes care of the whole business for tonight.
And I'll see you November 5th.
And we have, we do not have any new business, we do not have any other business. And now that gets us to council comments. And we'll just start, Mr. Abbott?
We have a plan commission meeting tomorrow at 6 o'clock here in the chamber. Other than that,
Mr. Austin?
Mayor, I don't have anything this time.
Mr. Keegan?
Just announce, I think it's already been announced, but just make everybody aware once again that there will be no redevelopment commission meeting in the morning due to lack of members. So, sleep in.
Mayor, I apologize. I don't know if you mentioned anything about passing with Mr. Vander or Pat Mayor.
I have not, that's a good point. Go ahead, Mr. Austin.
Well, Ed Vander, mayor of our city for many years, passed away Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, in Florida at his residence. And Ed was a good friend. And I know a lot of people know Ed and knew Ed. And Ed was a really tough cookie. And he was a great mayor. And Ed kind of started, some of the planning and the departments that the city didn't have prior to that. Was that in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken?
1976.
Okay. So I think he was a two-term mayor, and, anyway, started getting things rolling in the planning part of the city. And, anyway, Ed be sorely missed.
He used to really give Kenny and I and Mr. Allen down there, he would wear us out. I mean, it was good.
I still got an indentation in my chest when
And then he called me up the day I become mayor. He's in Florida, and he calls me up and he says, well, you finally made it. He said, I'm real proud of you, and he goes, I just want you to know, the only advice I got for you, when you got a butt chewing coming, just sit there and take it and smile. So anyway, that
I'm
was,
sure that was a paraphrase from him.
yeah, that was a paraphrase. Anyway, he was a good guy. Thanks for bringing that up, Kenny. Anything else, Mr. Egan?
No, I think Ed was the one that took the sewer lines out on the other side of the interstate. He did something that helped promote all that development out there on the east side of town.
He also covered up Roaring Run ditch. He was the one that put the pipe in.
Yeah. So he got a lot done during his tenure.
And he was telling me also, we can go on about it, but he's, you know, the creeks and stuff, you know, people say you need to clean the creeks out for the flooding, and now you got, DNR and all this stuff that won't let you get in the creeks. Well, Ed said, you know how to run a backhoe, just go get it, go down there and clean it out, they won't catch it, don't worry about it. How about you, Mr. Ayers?
I have nothing additional, sir.
No stories about,
None for you.
I know Mr. Blankenship, you probably got some stories about it.
None that I can tell.
Maybe off the record.
Anything you wanna?
I'd like to thank Joanna Myers. I was working with the county last week, and we found a little discrepancy in the alley between the North Annex and to the west of the North Annex. Amazingly to me, probably not amazingly to everybody that knows Joanna, she just jumped right up, walked over to inspect the problem, and I was just taken aback. I was just amazed by it. And it just shows the quality of the people that we have working for the city and what a still great place it is. And she's just one of the members that makes it great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you.
Mr. Ricky?
You're up. Nothing at this time,
You know, on Joanna, of course, the trucks being in town's always been a keep in mind when they drive down through town. I told the chief of police, if we put Joanna in charge of that, there wouldn't be any trucks downtown.
I'd like to make a motion.
Mayor Barnett,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have something. Last, a resolution, 2018-15, which was approving the sale of the Shell Building, number 2. If you recall, the signature page was kind of messed up and everything, and so I felt with it being something as important as the sale of the Shell Building, that we should redo the signature page. So if I could please just send that down and everyone, it was a 7-0 vote, everyone agreed to it.
This is just formatting, it's not substantive in any changes.
Correct. All it is the signature page was cleaned up, so thank you.
How about Mr. Shaw?
Nothing, thank you.
Yeah, nothing. Rob was here for several years, it's good to have him back in the chair. Okay, hearing nothing else, we're ready for adjournment, I think.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Mr. Austin, all those in favor?
Aye.